So how I got started is, believe it or not, my mom and brother used to work for a Harley dealer, and I would just go sit and watch Harleys come in and out, and just watch them on the picnic table. Because so I started having kids in high school. Like I graduated high school, had a kid, and turned 19 like the week later.
Oh wow,
So I
quite
went,
early.
yeah, I went real early. So I couldn't afford a bike. I couldn't. All I could do was sit and dream about bikes. But I was going through a divorce because at the time I was young
At
enough to.
19?
Well, I was at 20 when I went through my divorce because
Oh,
I thought, okay, old school way says you have to marry this broad, and uh, do the family thing. And long story short, let's just say that didn't work. Uh, and So I sat there. And my brother bought me my first uh, Sportster as my divorce present,
nice.
and so I opened up a detail shop inside of his garage because I was living with him, just so I could touch every bike, get to know it, and then it has evolved into where we're at now.
So,
Cool.
where are you from, first of
I,
all, by the
I'm
way?
from Alton, Illinois.
Okay.
You're
Okay.
from there as well. Is that
Yes,
where you're
yep,
out of? Okay.
correct, yeah.
So, I don't know how old you are. I could take a guess. Um, but this has probably, what, been 20, 25 years now
For
that you've
what?
been
That I
working on
started
bike?
this?
Yeah.
No, so I'm 45 now. Um, it's probably 18 years ago
Okay.
is when
And
I started the journey.
Okay.
how'd you get into actually building custom stuff?
So I went to I figured out at my house, instead of doing the detail stuff, I slowly started doing bar swaps and exhaust changes, and simple trinkety bullshit that you bolt on, and it just wasn't enough for me. It was like I wanted more. So I bought a $300 TIG welder from eBay, and I saved up for like 3 months. I didn't even know what I was buying. I think that's a welder. Cool. I knew nothing. It comes in. I literally take the whole Chinese piece of junk welder to a welding supply store and said, "Make this work." I don't know what I need. I don't know. Yeah, and then I went home and just started blowing holes through metal, trying to figure out how to weld. And eventually, I sat down and I figured it out. I had a good buddy of mine that was a welding instructor at a college, so he was giving me tips and
That's
helping
awesome.
me here and there just to curtail it, make it easier. But and then it was just like I don't have the money to buy that part that I need, so we're gonna give our hand at making it,
Right.
and that's how it all just happened.
And you did it.
Yeah, yeah, I figured it out, and don't get me wrong. I look back at some of the first like custom pieces I did for people and charged them, and I want to give them their money back. Honestly, I'm like that. You should be cussing me. Not That's not custom anything.
Like, so when you're making like actual parts that
Mm-hmm.
go onto a bike that are not aesthetic, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is something that I get stressed out about, right? Like a sissy bar is a sissy bar. If it fucks up, you go, my bag fell.
Right.
If you're doing something like even bars or like a front end or some shit like that, it
Yeah.
gets a little sketchy because then you're dealing with like if this fucks up, I might die.
Right. I like that. I like that. That just puts you
So
on the seat, puts you on the edge of your seat. No, like so I the first like things I like hand like my when I started making bars and stuff for people, and I was super reluctant to like put them out there in the universe because I didn't want it on my conscience that like, hey,
Yeah.
that part failed.
right,
Until like I had the epiphany one day when a guy came in and had his bike on a trailer, and I'm like, man, their bike doesn't look wrong. Well, he bought a set of $800 bars online from some like a big name company, and I'm like, what's up? He's like, these bars are broke, and I went, oh. Well, all right. Well, if these big companies that have laser everything and
Right.
are screwing up, it kind of gave me like a reassurance. It's like it's okay to screw up, but
Yeah.
let's limit your screw ups. And so I tested a couple sets of bars I made on my bikes for like a year, and I never had 1 ounce of problem. So I'm like, all right, let's just, yeah, I'm
Watching the big
overthinking it.
guys, yeah, watching the big guys fuck up can be a good inspiration.
No, no, 100%. And
Absolutely.
I got I've seen like a lot of frames come in, a lot of like other stuff people have done come in that was like, oh, okay, that's okay, yeah, neat. That's definitely a way to do it.
That's yeah.
I mean,
You
I got
know.
a frame off of V Twin.
Hmm.
So I think they made or someone made it, and it's a hardtail Sportster frame, and it came in, and I was like, I'm not a good welder, and those welds suck.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, and I bought this from like the biggest supply company in the
Oh,
world for this.
Taiwan Teddy.
Yeah, dude, and like they're like they probably have to get fixed up before the bike runs because I'm like I don't know that I trust any part of these.
I know a good rule of thumb is if I'm putting a hardtail kit on a bike for somebody, no matter where it comes from, and don't get me wrong, like Throttle Addiction makes a great one. Crispy Co. actually, I just had the pleasure of putting one of theirs, not a Sportster, but a twin cam one, or I'm sorry, an Evo hardtail section on. Theirs is actually top notch. And some of these companies, regardless of who it is, I still go over the welds just for peace of mind with myself.
Sure.
Right, like I've been seeing. I think now there's a lot of Crispy Co's one of them. A lot of like smaller companies that are getting more and more into building parts that you normally would have to get from a big supplier. Um, and I think that might be good because they
No,
can.
I agree. Because quality's going up. With like Crispy Co. and I've got asked by a couple different people if I would make like my version of a hardtail section, and it's not the fact that I can't, it's the fact that I don't know if I'm smart enough to figure out how to mass produce this because like I'm one man.
Right.
That's what these people don't realize. I'm one person. So if it takes me a week to make a hardtail section, that's going to be a very expensive hardtail section.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
If I'm doing for hours. So that's the problem with me is like I have to figure out cost effective. Is it more cost effective for me to build the hardtail section myself or buy it? Like do a couple trims and fabricate a little bit extra and make it what I really want.
Right. I mean, like, because we're developing parts right now,
Hmm.
and it's the same thing, of like, well, we can make X, but if it's going to take this long to make X, it's not worth it because
Right.
another company already sells this for much cheaper. So you got to figure out like what parts you can make quickly, right? Like sissy
Correct.
parts you can make quickly generally.
Correct.
Um, but also make like pretty uniform, uh, and not have it be. I guess I really don't want to get sued, so
No,
I'm
and
not.
that's the other thing. Nobody's reinventing the wheel. You know what
Right.
I mean? And everybody's so quick to jump on the lawsuit train rather than a quick email says, "Hey, man, I came up with that a long time ago." You
I mean,
know?
I've run into shit where like I put a shirt out that had a saying on it,
Right.
right? I'm not gonna say what saying,
Yeah.
but I got a bunch of people that were like, "You stole this from this guy," and that guy messaged me, and he's like, "I have a trademark on this," and I'm like, "It's 2026. You are not the
Right.
first fucking person to say these four words together."
Right. No, exactly. Exactly. Like, so one of my shop shirts, it says, "Dare to keep hipsters off choppers."
Yeah.
And I got a thing from that I was too close to the dare motto. I go, I'm not even close to the dare motto. I just used the dare word. Get out of here. But like, so one of the parts I started making, and I make it for three different carbs. It's for a CV, a linker, and a S&S Super E. It's a carb stand that you can actually display your carb. It bolts up and you can display it. Or you can, if you have 6 inch or narrower jaws on your vise, you can put it in your vise and it locks in place. So you can literally spin it, lock it, and work on it. So you don't have to worry about putting your carburetor in a vise and breaking an ear or what have you.
Okay.
Yeah. So like, I mean, that's the kind of stuff like. It's hard, like you said, no one's reinventing the wheel. And like I've thought of things while working on stuff and I've been like, someone should make that. And like we should make that. Then I look it up and I go, a lot of people fucking make that, it turns out. Uh,
Yeah.
but like I was looking at a lot of the bikes that you've built and focusing on like your exhaust specifically, right?
Yeah, I'm kind of known for my wild, crazy high pipe
Yeah,
exhaust and shit like that.
they're all different.
Yeah,
How the fuck do you keep coming up with ideas for that?
I got hit. I got dropped on my head a lot as a kid.
Oh, okay.
No, I don't know. It's just like I just kind of run with what flows with the bike. Every bike, it has a look that you're going for, and I just kind of just sit back and I hate the same old every like. Oh yeah, I could get it here to here the same way every time, but that's boring as shit.
Right.
I mean, I want to backtrack a little bit.
Yeah,
When you're going through a bike build, because I think there's a lot of people now are trying to build their own bikes,
they
right?
are. They
Like
and it's
everyone.
correct.
How do you go through looking at a bike build and from like start to finish, like laying it out, the order of shit? You don't have to give away everything, but
No, 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 for sure. So first, my first and foremost, I start with like one part of the bike that well, let's go with like my bike I built for People's Champ
right,
in like 2023 ZZ Chop. It started with I had that girder front end, that 12 over girder, sitting in my like leaning against my wall for about 6 8 months,
right,
and that Invader wheel was on it, and I went, fuck, screw it, I'm building the bike around this, and
Yeah.
just started like assembling the frame the way I wanted it and doing everything to kind of take shape of that.
so like you're
And
mocking stuff up before you.
right,
Okay,
yeah. So I kind of just let the bike speak for itself and what looks cool and where it wants to lay and what path we're going down.
Sure.
Because you can look at a bike real quick and think it's going to have a super 70s 60s vibe, or it's going to have the most bolt on bullshit ever vibe.
right.
And uh, every builder, regardless of how many bikes they built, they have a style that you can look out and be like, oh, that's definitely his bike because that's just his style.
Right.
So uh, I just like to take my time with it, and I like the bike to kind of, it's gonna sound weird, but kind of tell me the way direction we want to go. And
Yeah.
one of the things that happens a lot is people always ask me is like, I want to paint my bike blue. I said, I'm sure you do. Yeah, cool. Yeah, well, talk to me in about 6 8 weeks or 3 4 months when the bike's together, because then you might look back and be like, blue's the dumbest fucking choice for this color bike, and this bike just wants to be gold.
Yeah.
Like gold makes this bike look cool.
Like I mean, there was a bike, a Sportster mocked up without being painted. And I had a whole paint idea, right? And then I saw it, and it was just the bare metal, just all
Yeah,
sitting. And I was like, oh, that. We don't need to
Right.
paint this. It actually turns out like,
right. Yeah. See, and it's just shit like that you just sit there and look at it, and you're like, this is so cool the way it is.
Yeah.
Like, and the other thing, I don't, I got away from building like the clean classic chrome everything and its mother, show bikes. I'm a crusty, grungy guy.
Yeah.
So my bikes fit my personality.
right. And I mean, I don't. There's a lot of pushback right now on the general like show bike world where they don't
Yeah.
move or run or have ever had any fluid in them. And I mean, I tend to fall on the side of like, yeah, bikes are art, for
Yeah.
sure, but they should also be able to get
Functional.
there.
Correct.
Otherwise, it's not doing the main thing a bike does, which is fucking run and move.
Hmm.
Uh, so like, I always appreciate builders that like if there's a ride-in show, like we talked to guys from Idle Hands, which is going on in
Mhm.
New Hampshire.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
it like that whole fucking show is like you have to build everything. You can't put any. No one else can do anything, including paint anything. You have to do it all, right? Uh, and you have to like write it into the show. And if it doesn't do that, you're no longer involved.
Which here's the deal. Here's my thing with this. Not everybody's a painter. You know,
No.
not everybody knows how to lay the flame licks down right. So what you're basically doing is saying, here, we know you don't have a clue. Make your you have a cool build and a cool concept, but you're fucking it with your own paint. So go ahead and paint it so then it looks like just a hodgepodge of shit.
But sometimes hodgepodge of shit are cool.
That's the story of my life. Like, the most. So here, every bike. So ZZ Chop was probably my one of my most show pieces because of the stage we're on. I'm doing everything super shiny and blah blah blah. And it loses to my crusty shit every time. I'll take the crusty bike just so I have something to bop around on,
Right.
and the crusty bike will win. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like,
That's how that goes.
yeah.
It oftentimes stands out a little bit more when it doesn't look like everything else.
Right. So, and here's the other thing. So I can't say the name of this television broadcast that's about to air, but I can beat around the bush enough to where we can figure out. How's that?
Is it actually going to air?
Yes.
Okay.
There's one that's coming to air pretty soon. It was a TV show that was way back popular in the early 2000s. They had a guy that liked to stand on the seat, and he passed away on his right before in the middle. So if you know where I'm going. So they're bringing that back, right? And the producers kept asking me, "What am I building? What am I building? You're building a crusty bike in the biggest stage of your life." And I said, "Why would I go away from what got me here?
Yeah.
Why would I try and reinvent my wheel right now?" So, needless to say, the other team allegedly had a painter that was this world-renowned painter. That's all I kept saying. This painter is world-renowned. I'm like, okay, cool. Why on God's green earth are you so worried about the freaking paint of the fucking bike? Like, there's more to a bike than just paint. Obviously, paint and wheels and bars are the three, and exhaust are the four things that as soon as you walk up to a bike, you're like, okay, the paint will grab your attention. The exhaust, the wheel, something grabs your attention and grabs you in, right?
Right.
But if you have a shitty paint job done well, it grabs your attention.
Yeah.
Or if your fabrication is so spot on and tight, and your design is so good, that grabs your attention.
Well,
And
like you're saying, listen to the bike as you're building it. That grabs your attention.
right.
There's a guy that we're friends with named Kenny. I don't know. He doesn't like media or attention, so I'm not going to say his last name.
Yeah.
But,
Great guy.
he builds fucking kick-ass bikes, right? And he ships he builds them in small town Kentucky, and people out in LA buy them and they ship them out there, and then they pretend
Right.
they're really cool now. But all of his bikes are like, you can tell they're his, first of all, and second of all, like, the paint is not complicated, right? It's like, oftentimes it'll be like, hey, look, it's some pinstripe flames, right? But the way that he ages the tank, the way the flames lay
Right.
on there, the colors of it, all of that shit, you're like, that's the way that it should be.
100%.
We have a giveaway bike coming up that he built. That when he sent me a picture of the tank, I was like, oh fuck, yeah, that dude. Like, there's just
Right.
one little detail on it. For some reason, like, the word rose is written in really small red, just
Right.
on one part of the bike, and I was like, fucking perfect. I don't know why, but
Exactly. It's one of those things like, so I don't know if you guys are weed friendly or not. I happen to be with, like, late at night when I close the door and I do some like fabricating and I'm doing a bunch of welding and stuff. I might be known to take a couple tokes of the dragon and sit and relax my mind and relax my head. And
Yeah.
like on Z, like, there's three of us here in the shop, and I literally handed a marker to me. I picked up a marker and gave it to my two other buddies, and I said, draw a line anywhere on the tank. Just draw a line. And then he drew a line, I drew a line, and the other guy. We all three. And then I came back the next day, and I molded the rod into that tank in that spot and raised it and made it all taper down. And that changed the tank so much, and it made it like throw these weird shadows, and it was like super cool from then on.
yeah, it's always. I find there's always like one final thing that pulls it all together. Like,
Yeah.
you start one place where you look like, I have like a front end that I love, right? It's an extended knuckle front end Springer.
Ooh, love that.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's a bike. I originally bought it and I was like, I'm gonna put it on my Sportster, and I was like, I'm not gonna fucking do that.
You know how many people would come after you?
Yeah.
You would shut the internet down if you posted a picture of a Sportster with an extended knucklehead frame. Oh,
Maybe I should. Maybe I
Yeah.
should do it then because I get a
hey,
lot of fucking
I
attention.
you should. I posted a video just so if you would watch if you go look at my Instagram or my Facebook or my TikTok, we put shorts of long
Right.
versions that we put on YouTube.
Right.
So I was because everybody wants to hate on no front brake. Like,
Right.
don't be a pussy. Just try it or don't. And if you don't like it, keep it to yourself. If you do like it, do it. No, you don't need like a star next to your name because you say I can ride a bike without a front brake. Whoop-de piss. You know, congratulations. There's more to this motorcycle than no front brake. So I made this. You guys might have seen it. I was in the lab coat, and
Yeah.
yeah. So I basically, if you go down on the YouTube to the very end, all it is me telling you to fuck off. But 2 point something million people saw it, and I'm going to kill people. I'm like, no, you should kill people because you clearly can't pay attention and follow a story plot to the end. So take it easy, tough guy. You know,
Well, I mean, man, people have, especially, I mean, with everything, but with bikes too, people have such fucking hardline opinions on
oh,
the way that it
oh,
should be, you know? Or like, I'll see a video of like someone welding a bracket on, right? And
right,
then it'll be 400 comments of people being like, that's upside down, and other people being like, fuck you, no, it's not. And it's like,
right. Oh, yeah.
ma-
We did a
What?
video, just real slick video of like, what do I prefer to weld? Well, I prefer to TIG weld.
and you're
And that
wrong.
was it. And
Yeah.
I explained why I chose TIG. I've been welding stick for 35 years and I can out weld you. I bet you can. I never said you couldn't. I said what I prefer, assholes. I prefer, you know. So I think we're getting a new shop shirt getting made that says put your keyboard down before your real life teeth get knocked out.
Yeah, there's
What brought you into what made you choose to take part in that internet circus? Because your videos are awesome, but what was the origin of that?
I talk with Weems, honestly. I don't know if you know Weems very well from Weems Motor Co., Jared Weems.
uh,
And I just was picking his brain. He's a good, close, personal friend of mine. And he shut his shop down and only does social media and builds bikes on social media, basically, and then sells the bike, does whatever. And he's like, I was making more on social media than I was at the shop.
Wow.
I'm like, holy shit. So I got I found a guy that just started a social media, not just started, but he was starting a company where he helped out social media stuff.
Okay.
And I told him, I'm like, look, I'm already verified on every platform. I'm making like pennies. I'm making a couple $100 here and there. If you can take this to the next level, we can split the money it makes, and it's free advertisement for me. You're getting advertisement for bigger clients,
Right.
and it kind of is a two-way street for both of us. Can work and peel off of it, and
It's a good
yeah,
system.
it definitely helped because so he is growing it at 4,000% a month.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I actually, the first way I found out about you was Facebook Reels for some reason.
Yeah, oh yeah. He has this thing where I'll tell you his trick. He puts shit on trial reels,
Yeah,
so you can put like 6 reels up at a time, and it doesn't post to your actual page.
right.
It sells out to everybody else around you, and then tells you what to post, and then it's ridiculous.
Okay.
Yeah, and actually, like right after I first started seeing you, then my dad sent me like 3 videos on Instagram. He was like, "Have you seen this guy?" And I was like, "Yeah, on Facebook. I don't know, he's cool shit." But that shit does work.
It does.
But like I don't. We make no fucking money off social media. It's insane. We have like, I've bitched about this a lot. We have a lot of followers. We have a lot of engagement. We have
Mhm.
fucking people stay on the app for thousands of years of time every month because of our fucking shit, right?
Correct.
We make absolutely no money. Um,
So I can say something like you're doing something weird
Well,
because
hey, we got demonetized recently, but before that, we were still making barely any fucking money.
and so that's the thing is I've been monetized for a while and I get a check every couple months for like $100. And I'm
Right?
like,
It's nothing.
right, I'm like, wow, that's whatever. But since he started, I think last month we did like 2,700.
Is this from Instagram?
Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube.
Okay,
Okay.
and I imagine YouTube pays the most.
Facebook.
Really?
Hmm. Hmm.
See, because on
Mhm.
Facebook, we don't even have the option to monetize.
So I don't know. I can ask him because we only had like when he started it, I had like 1,500 subscribers or followers or whatever. Because I didn't care. Facebook to me was the old platform. I wanted new generation.
Yeah, I was in
Like
the same place.
the kids are in the Instagram and stuff. So whatever I posted to my Instagram, I would post. It would automatically post to my Facebook. And he's like, "Look, we're going to stop doing that. I'm going to focus primarily on your Facebook for a minute because if you look at the motorcycle demographics, it's dudes 35 to 60. You know, and where are they mostly at? Facebook. So I'm at like 64,000 or something like that in just like 3 months
Jeez.
from him just pushing stuff and getting it monetized. And I wish he just left. I could have him tell more, but we can set up a call at any time with him and with like you guys off of everything, and then figure out what you're doing wrong or what's you know what I mean.
We don't have to get into that while people are listening, but I do want
Yeah, because they
to.
don't want to hear the behind the scenes boring shit. Like they want to hear about me walking around half naked and doing I always wore a spur and everybody shotgunning beers off my spur at every bar I went into type stuff, right?
No, no one wants to hear about that. They want to hear about the intricacies of Facebook.
Yeah. I figured as much because I'm 4 years sober, so everything before 4 years was a wild, wild time.
I can sort of relate to that.
Yeah.
I'm in a similar boat.
People always like, let's go to this bar for lunch. Yeah, about that.
Well, I would have joined you a couple years back, but
Right. Well, it's not even that. I can't even get in to them. I'm like, yeah, I partied way. I always tell people, I don't try and fun at my fun level. I will out fun you, and I don't care who gets hurt or what happens. It's to me, fun is fun, And I got that mentality. I ran with like a small street gang out of St. Louis, and it was like either have fun or beat them up and have fun. We're having fun, Either you're gonna let us be us, or you're gonna kick us out so we can beat you up, and then we're really having fun. So that's the kind of the approach I always took, and 100% the wrong approach, but 100% the fun approach.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we're as a company we paint a picture, and like post a lot of shit that leads people in a direction, and
Yeah,
then we'll be at like an event, like Party at the Pen or Germantown or whatever the fuck,
yeah.
and it'll be like 9 o'clock, and
It's
we'll
like,
be
well-
like, oh well, we're all sober and we got to get the fuck out of
Right.
here.
Yeah.
I gotta read
Everyone's like, "You come to the after party? Yeah, I'll see you there. If I don't show up by the time you leave, just keep waiting."
Yeah, I'll be there. I'll be there real late.
Yeah, I'm because it's even though 4 years is a good time behind you, when you get around all your buddies and dipshits and everybody's just flowing drinks and it's very easy to jump off of the wagon and uh regress. And so a lot of the times, like Mama Tried, very, very rarely will you see me at an after party. You'll see me at a pre-party for like the first maybe 30 minutes,
Right.
hour.
Exactly.
And then I just kind of like dip out the corner, out the back. I go home to my service dog and we just chill with my dog. And because to me, my friend tree's real full. And because I say that like this because my social media status as it grows, more people want to meet me, which I am all for.
Right.
I want to meet you. I want to talk motorcycles with you. I don't want to drink with you.
Right.
Yeah.
And like some people see that me being rude. I'm like, no, it's me watching out for me.
Oh, dude, I've let a number
Absolutely.
of people down
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
person because, like, I've had people be like, "You want to go do coke?" And I'm like, "No, dude, no, I really don't want to go do that."
Yeah.
Uh,
I've never done it. Never done a day in my life. And
I
like on
always
my
tell people
49 being a
about it.
smart ass,
I mean,
because they had rules for this bike. You had to have a mirror, a turn signal, or no, a mirror, a speedometer, and a taillight, right? So I don't ever put mirrors on my bike. So I
right.
just glued a razor blade right in the middle of the mirror and like turned it this way flat. And they're like, what's that? I go, clearly a cocaine mirror. Well, I don't know if we could do that. I go, oh, well, good news is I didn't ask and I didn't care.
It's a mirror.
You said mirror. So then like like when I went to judging, I got points taken off because I couldn't see my speedometer. How
People,
many choppers do you know rip a speedometer?
I
yeah,
have one bike that has a speedometer on it.
Right. Is it a chopper?
It's a Dyna.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So any choppers, that's one of the first thing goes, speedometer, right? You know you're
speedometer,
going too
brake
fast
system.
if you got those fancy blue and red lights behind you. You're leading the parade. You shouldn't be. I get it. So I put it under my seat holding my battery down. Not even hooked up. Nothing. I said, look, guys, you didn't say it had to be hooked up. You didn't say it had to be visible. You said it had to be on the bike. It's on the bike.
Yeah.
Like they're
More
like,
rules.
yeah, they're like, that's not roadworthy. That's funny. I rode it on the road all the way here.
What show was this?
Oh, that's the one we cannot say.
Oh, okay. Uh,
I had 10 days to build said bike.
do you know when that's airing
Jeez.
now?
Yeah, when
It's from what I've been told, it was supposed to air in January.
Right.
So I don't know. I'd say anytime? Question mark.
Okay, that's fun.
keep an eye
Yeah,
out for it.
yeah. But
How?
you will get to see. So the and here's the thing is I'm ADD as a motherfucker, so I jump around, and that's just how my brain works. So you will see me tearing. So that whole paint job, just to be a smartass, that guy said like this world class painter. I spray painted the whole bike and did it in like $27 worth of Rust-Oleum, and then like lit it on fire and patinaed it and made it look like it is.
Right.
And then I won't say who won the show, but I will say this: I asked the dude at the end. I was standing there next to him, and they're like, because we weren't allowed to know who we were building against, and
Okay.
like we weren't allowed to see the other bike till the unveil or whatever. And it was real dark in the room, and they're like, "What do you think of this bike?" I go, "I wish the lights were on so I could see if he did anything." And that's it. And then like they went to like a cut because I don't know why, and the guy comes over and goes, who painted this? And I had my buddy, his name's Scooter Scott. He came into town and painted it for me in the shop. We all just, shop party. And he goes, well, what'd that cost you? I said, oh man, what's, because he did a black paint job with like 2 strips of real flames down the side of this alleged build. And I said alleged purposely. And he goes, that's an $8,500 paint job. I said, cool. What are you going to do when you get beat by a $27 paint job?
Do you have some animosity towards these other people?
No, but like I said, one, I'm competitive as a motherfucker.
Right.
That's just me as a person. I've never met him. Never met him. I've never seen him in person. I'd never met him till that day. And like I was down there in the hotel. I had my 16-year-old daughter with me, because that's a cool experience.
Mhm.
I've always showed her how to get arrested. I've never showed her how you can actually win a trophy doing something cool. So I had her with me, and they're like, "Hey, we'll send a driver to come pick you up, and you can come out with us." And I go, "No, I'm good." Is it because the other team's here? Yeah, that's it. Mm-hmm. Or the fact that I'm hanging with my 16-year-old daughter. I don't drink, and I didn't come here to get new friends. I came here to beat
Right.
your ass and live not like
to win.
yeah, not physically, but I don't want to be like, oh, well, you tried, like the scene's big enough. But once they wheeled their bike out, and I don't usually say this about a lot of builders. So one of us was about 10 or 15 years behind the other.
Uh-huh.
And one of us, their custom level was like here, and I'm like, hey, look, guys, Harley built this in 2000, whatever year this bike is. You just painted it and bolted on some ugly bullshit and called it a build. Cool.
It's a co-creation with Harley.
Yeah, I go, that's neat. I thought you were supposed to build something, not Harley. So, it was just, we're just not, what it boils down to is we're not the same. And, and I talk about this on one of my podcast episodes with Chopper Tom, we talk about the difference between a builder and an assembler. There is nothing wrong with being one or the other. Nothing. If you're a builder and you like to make a majority of your parts, be a builder. Be a fabricator, be a builder. If you want to look through catalogs and you have a good eye to what you can purchase and what you can bolt on and it looks fucking rad as fuck, call yourself an assembler. There's not like a magic portal that opens because you fabricate your own shit. So like that's what I'm trying to close the gap on. The big wheel or the performance baggers. Are they cool? Yes, cool. They can wheelies and slide them and do all this stuff. But when they go, just built it. What'd you build? You didn't build a thing. You bought bags and put smaller bags on. You bought bars, put bars on. You had somebody like put bigger cams and shit in the motor. How is that a build? That's you accessorize, bud. You look like my wife's makeup kit. Stop it. And the problem is Harley, I'm a Harley advocate, obviously. When you buy the bike, they take you to their parts counter.
Right.
And you fill out a build sheet.
And then they
for bars, exhaust, blah, blah, blah. And it's instantly like, I'm building this. Oh, your ass sucks buttermilk. You ain't building shit. We're bolting a bunch of new shit on and gouging the shit out of you for 5 years.
Right.
And like, if you do that, does the Harley Techs then build it?
Yeah. Yeah. Basically, your Harley Tech's a builder that most Harley Techs aren't building anything. They're
putting other parts in the place.
Yeah, they're plugging their computer and going, oh, we can change that part, unplugging it and changing it. Now, there's some that are actually very talented. They're just using that as a secondary,
that's just
source. And like I said, there's nothing wrong with it. Nothing. But let's call it what it is.
Right.
Like, when did we get from customizations to builds all in the same sentence? It's a far stretch.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of... One thing that I have a consistent issue with is going on like Facebook Marketplace and seeing, whatever year Evo Sportster build,
Right.
And then it's a list this fucking long of like, TC Bros X and all this shit, right? Okay, I'm asking $9K.
Right.
And it sits there for fucking 2 months and they're like, okay, 75, but I'm not coming down. It's like, there's not a Sportster in the goddamn world worth more than 5K.
Yeah, I was say if you're paying more than $4,500 for a Sportster, you need your head examiner. You need to go beat off in the bathroom and lose that demon because you're overpaying.
That's the clip for the show. No, I mean, I love Sportsters, right? Like, they're fucking great.
I get a lot of hate for like loving Sportsters so much. Like, do I own one? No, I started on one. But if you look, the most versatile bike that can literally have 500 different looks from the parts allotted is a Sportster.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why all the old school dudes used to fucking build them,
Right. Like, I love Sporters.
And like, but again, like you shouldn't pay over 25 for a Sportster, in my opinion.
No. I tell people, go buy the most clapped out Sportster. Stay away from the iron heads unless you plan on knowing how to mechanic really well, because I can promise you're going to learn. But I'm like, get an Evo Sporty. And then you can literally set up the coolest, like 70s, 60s, 70s chop that looks super big twin. Or you can go with like the cafe racer style if that's what you're into, or you can go everywhere with them. They're cool.
But people now are way too fucking proud of them. I mean, people
Oh,
are way too proud of a lot of bikes. Like I saw one on Chopper Swapper
People
the
are
other
too proud of
day
a lot of things.
that it was a shovel build, right? And they were like, I have 40K into it, and I'm asking 30K. And I was like, that's not anyone else's problem that
Right,
you fucking
right.
overspent.
Yeah.
That's your mistake.
So I have one of my very first customer bikes that I built. It had a good he ended up turning into be a good personal friend of mine through the build process. And I've built him 4 bikes since this first one 8 years ago.
Okay.
But it had a Sugar Bear bike, and the reason nobody wanted to touch it was because he had a specific person he wanted to do the frame, so he let them do the frame. And he's like, would you touch it since they did the frame? I go, well, who did it? Because I'm not gonna. Some people you're just like, oh, you know.
Right.
But when he told me this guy's, I go, fucking yes, yeah, because I knew this guy's work is meticulous, and so I'm like, absolutely. So then I started talking to him like, look, you're going to be like 55, 60K in this shovel head build. I mean, you're 11K in the Sugar Bear front end. He had a pre-World War II headlight. That was 5K. I'm like, holy shit. Like, and I put a hole in that too, by the way. That's another day. But I told him, I said, you're going to be 55, 60 hard money in a bike that's probably going to be worth 18, 20.
Did he
And he goes,
care?
okay. So be it. So he actually rode the bike for several years, and then came up to me and just in talking, he's like, "Yeah, I'm getting ready to go get my will. I haven't done a will since he got divorced. Blah blah blah. Not airing everybody's dirty." He goes, "I'm getting ready to go do my will and do stuff." He goes, "And I want you to know that I'm not selling that bike." I'm like, "Okay," because he's kind of done riding. He's like, he doesn't trust himself anymore riding. So he's kind of go to boats, and he's got a cool 65 pan, a completely restored 67 Jenny shovel, this 76 that's Sugar Bear, and what else? He's got a couple other, but nonetheless, he goes, that chopper is yours. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, I can't sell it to anybody. It was your first customer bike. I feel like you should own it.
That's pretty cool.
I'm like, well, cool. I can't pay you $5 for it right now. And he goes, didn't ask you to. It's yours. So, like, the paint job alone was 10 grand on this bike, and it's loud. It's
Fuck.
loud,
How does
but
that
it's a
happen?
cool. You look at it and it's done super. Jason Springle painted it. I don't know if you ever heard of him, Springle Customs.
Yeah.
Very good painter, very talented painter, and like the way this chopper's done, it's got a real long tail drag fender. It's got swing. It's a swing arm chopper with a Sugar Bear, so it definitely stamps a lot of the nose on chopper making,
Mm-hmm.
like stay away from. And I think that's why I love it that much more,
Yeah. It's a little
because it
overpowered.
like goes completely against the grain of what, short back fender, keep everything tight and right. And I'm like, I love it.
And you have it back now?
Yeah.
That's cool.
So
I
he made me make all hard brass oil lines
oh.
for and then like hard brake lines, and then he had them like brass plated
Jeez.
and brought it back. The transmission mount or the plate on the bottom is even brass. Like, there's so much little detail in this bike that people overlook. But like when I had all these oil lines and I'm sitting there looking at them because each one's a hair different, I'm like, okay, which one's which? I had no way. It took me like 3 hours to figure out 3 lines.
Yeah, I mean, that's the joy of fucking motorcycles sometimes.
Yeah, but the dude was
Just
super cool.
yeah.
And so as I'm doing final assembly, I literally have to. Well, let me tell this whole story is a good one. This is a good classic story. So he's been waiting a year and a half to get this bike. The other guy took a little while to get the frame, like 8, 9 months. I got it to mock up, tack welded. It looks like a motorcycle, right? I'm getting ready to tear it down from paint, and he's like, "Hey, if I come in tomorrow, you think you could wire it up enough to where I could take it down the road? Let's just see how it feels." I'm like, "Okay, I guess, yeah." That's the dumbest thing I've heard of. Sure, I got you. So I wire this whole bike up, just a super sketchy chopper wire, super sketchy. And he rides it up and down the street, and he's like, I want to go down the river road, which it's a 12-mile cruise, like by my shop. It's not anywhere far, but now I'm like, this went from around the block to
Yeah.
12 miles.
On a bike that's not really welded together.
That's tack welded,
Yeah.
and nothing's held on. It's held on with like hopes and dreams and bubble yum. So I was like, yeah. So I at the time had a Dyna 2, and I had a bag on it so I could put a bunch of tools and shit in it.
Right.
So I could catch everything that falls off along the way. Which he lost like for some reason he had a solid brass like transmission oil plug. That was like $300-400. That she gone. Bye. Just exited the chat.
Just
We get it. I told him, it's like, keep it under like 40-50 miles an hour, please. Because I don't want this thing to shake to death at 80, you know?
Right.
So we pull up to the first thing. He's like, I don't have a clutch. I'm like, what do you mean you don't have a clutch? I don't have like. So he pulls up stop sign and just dies. So we pull in there. So I'm like, the cable ripped out, everything, the nut was backed out. So I'm with limited tools getting it to where it can ride back. We're on the way back. He runs out of fucking gas. So, I mean, every possible wrong scenario is hitting. And I'm like, he's going to be so pissed. He's going to load this bike up in his truck and just take it to somebody to build. And I can't blame you. You know, so we're sitting there on the edge of the guardrail on a 4-lane watching bikes go by, and he's a cigar smoker. So he's sitting there smoking a cigar. He goes, you know what? I'm like, here it goes.
Yeah.
You know, and as a builder, as a guy, I'm trying to soften the blow for him. Like, now you understand this is just everything was tech. And, you know, I'm trying to like
Right.
curtail the steam of pissed off. And he's like, best day of my life. I went, what? What'd you say?
I like
He goes,
this guy.
absolutely best day of my life. Now he showed up like you walk. When he came for the ride, you wouldn't think he's a chopper dude at all. He showed up in a collared like polo, tucked in, you know, looking nice. I'm like, huh, whatever, you know. And then we get there, he's like, maybe he had a gas gauge somewhere to it. Yeah, I'm like, that we can do an external gas gauge, bud. You know, but. He sat here every day I built the bike. He owns a pretty successful landscaping company. So he'd get the boys started and then he'd come here and smoke cigars for a year and hang out while I built the bike. And like, it just, me and him got a really close connection, a bond, you know? And it was just kind of cool watching it all. And we still tell that story, laughing hysterically, how I thought, man, I just lost thousands of dollars.
Right.
For what, you know? And nope, happy as shit.
That is awesome.
And I was like, are you serious? He goes, absolute, well worth like the 2-year wait it took to get to this point. I'm like,
Jesus.
like I said, well, the guy had the frame for like a year.
Right.
Like and then I got the bike and I can't work on it every day. Obviously, I have to do maintenance. I have to do other builds. I have to keep the lights on.
Right.
You know, because at the end of the day, people think like building a bike pays. I lose money on almost every bike I build.
Really?
Like if I look at time, the time I spend on a bike to what I can actually charge for a bike, I will lose money because I'll build the sissy bar and look at it and be like, man, that ain't right. It ain't right. It's gonna take me another 3-4 hours to get it to look good. I can't charge a customer for my opinion. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like building bikes is a labor of love for me. I love the creative aspect of building bikes. I hate the people associated with a want it built because they think since they're paying you, let's just say 12 grand, they should have a bike that looks like my $80,000 bike or $100,000 bike out there. Like, you realize the price comparison difference. We're fishing in different ponds here.
Sure.
You know, my favorite quote ever from a lady was, she's like, I paid you 12 grand for a show bike. I said, and I'm showing you a bike.
I'm showing you a 12 grand show bike.
I don't know what you're like. This bike is it was a cool little bobber ass bike for a chick, wild exhaust and shit. And I'm like, I'm showing you a bike. Who's
Right.
to say this isn't a show bike? It's all chrome like you want because apparently chrome's cooler, and it was just one of those things. It's like sometimes I've learned, and that's when I learned it's okay to cut a project in half and say, look, come get it.
Yeah.
We're not jiving, and it's only going to hurt somebody's reputation in the long run, and it's not the person who's writing it.
Right.
Yeah. That's smart.
How often does that actually come up when you're trying to work with someone on a project
Yeah,
and you
how
just go,
difficult-
never mind?
Yeah, how difficult are they?
Oh, it. I have had my differences with a few people, and it's not like here's the thing: is at the end of the day, it's your bike. I'm not the bike police. If you want to put a dildo on the seat and make it have rhinestones so you sit on, I don't give a shit. I'll make it happen some way or another. But I am going to try and talk you out of it into something cooler, my style. Like you came here because of the style of bike I built.
Exactly. Exactly.
What leads you to believe that I want to build this bike is a completely against my grain? Will I? Sure, because it's a paycheck and I'm a money whore like everybody else in America. But at the same time, like I just started losing like speed on the build.
Right.
So that's when I'm like, okay, get it out of here. But maybe one or two, not a whole lot, maybe one or two.
Oh, that's not bad. But
No,
speaking of show bikes, because people again are building a lot of or assembling things.
everybody's building show bikes. Everybody's got a show winner.
How do you actually get into like a legit show scene? You did do a video on
You
this,
did. I've
but
seen.
Yeah. So I got lucky. Okay, I have a lot of friends in this area that I piggybacked off of, and because they already had a bike in the show, I just showed up to the show to be a spectator and meet the actual people putting the show and shake a hand the old school way, face to face, shake a hand. Let them tell me no to my face. I can't build a bike,
Yeah.
right.
because anybody can look at a bike in about 30 seconds on the internet and just like whoop 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 whoop, like it's their OnlyFans page and they're just swiping left and right to see the next one. And but if you're sitting there and the guy's looking at your bike, to get him to say how big a piece of shit it is in front of you is like no grown man's going to be like, oh, this thing's a piece of shit, never. Or they'll probably be like, look, where this is really good,
Right.
just not good enough yet. But you're getting there, soften the blow. So I went to a lot of shows, piggybacked off of other friends, and got invited to the show. In another way, I did it like the Damn Show. It's an invite only show for the at a Detroit antique. Detroit, Randy puts it on. I'm the only person that just showed up with a bike on his second one. And he's like, oh, it's invite only. I said, oh, yeah, sure. But I also knew if I showed up and rode the bike here,
Here I am.
he's like, man, you got to push this thing in. And I've been invited ever since.
Righteous.
So
You
like
know?
basically human connection, just
Yeah.
trying to get to meet people.
The old-fashioned way.
Yeah. And that's the cool thing. So I'm 45 years old. I still carry cash in my pocket. I'm not one of those kids that it's debit everything or credit card this, and I'm like, I have this weird thing. It's called cash. I don't Venmo. I do Venmo and stuff for this shop, but I'm like, I'm not pulling out my Venmo wallet and my fucking prison wallet. I'm gonna get the money right out of my pocket. I'm gonna hand you cash, and we're gonna call that good. So I just went with the same philosophy: be me in front of them, show the bike off, let the bike speak for itself, and if they don't like it, tell them fuck off. And uh, you know, I just didn't let it discourage me. I had a lot of people tell me my bikes aren't shit, compared to the scene. And at the time, I was super salty, but it drove me to be better and really like sit down and have a look at what I'm doing in fabrication wise. Because I mean, there's some guys that fabricate to this day. I've been doing a lot of I can't figure out how they did it, and I'm like, good night. you're my heroes. So, but that's the best way, is the old fashioned way. Ride your bike to that show. Talk to that person that's putting the event on in front of your bike. Don't just go talk to them, because that whoopty shit. And at Mama Tried, I did the same thing before my first invitation, and Warren's like, wait a minute. You got your Evolution Cycles, right? I said, yeah, I am. He goes, I was actually calling you Monday for the next show, because it was a COVID year, so they had one in February and then December, and then they were having another one in February, so they were like super shortchanged on filling 300 bikes in like a year and a half.
Right.
So I got crowbarred in because they had to fill bikes. Not because my bike was just super nice. It was just I got crowbarred in, and they just loved how I presented the show to everybody. And I'm the type that if you have a kid walking through the crowd and I'm standing by my bike, your kid's gonna get to crawl on my bike. I'm gonna let your kid take a picture on the bike, sit on the bike, take a picture, act like they're riding. I'll that's what it's about to me, is getting the younger generation into this type of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I think there is. I mean, like I go to events around here a lot, and there's a lot of kids.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people here in Northern Kentucky and Cincinnati, like, do bring their kids to events, and the kids know how to ride like little kid bikes and shit.
Right.
And like by the time there's some of them that by the time they're like 16 will probably be a better builder than most people.
Well, and that's the thing, is like I never tell a kid no, unless, like, this weekend I went to a car cruise, coffees and car things with a couple buddies, and this little kid came up to me. He's like, "Can I rev it? Can you rev it?" I just shut it off, and you're telling me I gotta turn the gas on, kick this fucking thing again until it starts, and then just to let you stand on it and rattle every bolt in America out of it? No.
Get out of here.
Well, what I will let you do is I'll let you sit on it and take a picture. How about that? Can we settle for that today?
If you
You
can kick it, you can rev it. How about
know,
that?
and that's what I should have said. I should have said, because it was probably 80-pound, 60-pound kid. I should have said, but the problem was it was my fucking wore out asshole 49 pan that I'm pretty sure I could hand crank. And I'm like, if you can get it started, you got it.
I don't know, maybe. Fuck it.
Well, I say that, but so my shovel, I have a lower. It's called the Bandit. It's a nose cone shovel, 80-inch, with a pan head, dual plug head on it. It's got 10.5 to 1 compression, a big ass cam. It's got a Baker 6 behind it. I mean, it hauls the groceries. It's a fast bike. And my 80-pound 17-year-old daughter can start it. She puts both feet on the pedal and plops down. And we posted a video about it. And so, it's all fun and games, so it kicks her over the bars. Okay, Captain Weirdos, let me ask you this: if I knew this bike was a habitual kickback problem, which if your bike's a kickback or not,
yeah,
because it's kicked you back. Like, this bike hasn't kicked me back in 8 years. Why on God's green earth would it start all of a sudden today? And that's when I just released a video, how to time your bike so it doesn't kick you back. It's real simple. You just have to keep retarding it just a hair until it doesn't kick back. Lock it in. You're set up there, So I had to explain to him, I'm like, look, whistle wieners, what kind of parent would I be if I put my kid in harm's way? And the other thing is, with the compression of this motor and her weighing all of 80 pounds, I'd have to get a catcher's mitt because I'd be catching a pop fly because she'd be in outer space.
Well, I mean, that's, again, the fucking people on the internet with bikes.
Right.
Are always fucking looking for something that is incorrect or done wrong, or...
Yeah, it's annoying.
It's incredibly fucking annoying.
Oh, it's like, because their bike kicks back because they're a shitty tuner, means my bike kicks back? I'm like, I don't comprehend that. And it's just the old adage is, yes, back in the day, they're all kickers. You clearly had more bikes kicking back.
Right.
Because that's how you start. You were a man. You started your bike with a foot. Be a man. Well, the external timing distributor, like, I saw a lot of people all on the old panheads. They'd go to kick it, and it would fire back because they forgot to retard it from riding it.
Right.
And it's full ass lock advance, on a cold motor, well, guess what? She's gonna hurt. You know, remember, twist her back. It is what it is. So I just laugh at the people now. And uh, enjoy the internet popularity of me saying, "Cool, thank you." Mm-hmm. Oh man, why didn't I think of that?
I mean,
Figured it out.
it
Right.
gets fucking engagement. But this is a personal question I want the answer to, which
Okay.
is not
Yes, I
about
like
you.
midgets.
I
Yes, I love midgets.
personally want to know the answer. It's not a personal question
Oh,
about
oh, okay, yeah,
you. I phrased that wrong.
About to get
yeah,
weird.
yeah. No, let's get weird. I like weird.
When you're aging a tank and you're trying to get like cracks and rust and
Yep,
shit,
yep.
how the fuck are you doing it?
First I
Reverse
piss on the
engineer.
inside of it.
Is that
No,
true?
no, not even a little bit. Don't piss. Look, internet world, do not piss. Well, you can try it, but don't piss on the inside of your tank. So it's real simple. You can't put any clear coat on it.
Right.
So if you paint it with something, you got to paint with a flat or a satin. Nothing. If you're going to spray bomb, rattle bomb it, whatever, it has to be like the automotive paint, not the Rust-Oleum one shot everything. Right. Spray it and let it dry. Like get your whole flames, everything on this tank, and then I'll take just and hang it against the wall, and I'll take nuts and bolts or fucking dust and throw it at it and just do stupid shit to it. But then I will take just spray can lacquer, and then I will spray it. I'll spray bomb the whole thing, get all the clear on it, right? And then there's a little haze after like 3-4 minutes that forms, and it'll like slowly, you'll see the haze kind of like drift away. And then I start hammering it with keyboard duster upside down and a torch,
Oh.
like back and forth. Like, so I'll make it super cold and then super hot. And what that does is like, so lacquer never fully cures, and it'll literally pull paint apart the whole time that paint job's on the bike. It'll continue to crack and keep going, and just no one's the same. And I just pay attention to where my torch is at heavy. So I try and think of, okay, if this bike's leaning on the kickstand, what sun sees it a lot that would be faded and more distressed.
Okay.
So I try and like the edges, I try and hit with a little more torch and get it to bubble and pop. And then the spots I can see down into the frame, like, or to the tank or the frame, whatever, I make a solution of vinegar, salt, and peroxide in a spray bottle, and I'll spray it all over. Like, I'll spray the whole bike with it, and then I'll come back with that torch, because what that does is as soon as it hits like bare metal, it'll almost look like blood and start just dripping rust down the paint, down everything. And then I'll come over the top of it real quick with that torch and like dry it real hard and lock it all in. And then I do more clear over the top of it. And I usually try and say like a flat or a satin, so you don't get that shine, because old crusty shit doesn't shine.
Right.
That's the one thing people like. I put high gloss 4K clear. I'm like, cool, you're an idiot. I've never had a patinaed anything with high gloss 4K any of it. It's always like real beat up and wore out. So I just put the clear of a flat or satin on it, depending on if I want a little luster or not, and that's pretty much it. It's actually pretty simple. It's more trial and error than anything.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to get it cold without a freezer.
You can't keyboard duster.
That unlocked that
Yeah,
fucking
that is very
equation.
smart.
That was
So
driving me
hold it,
nuts.
but I'm going to tell you right now, like, to do a tank, you need probably 10 cans of keyboard duster,
Okay.
because this shit doesn't last long. And the other thing is, so when you spray it, wear a mask, wear a face mask, because the keyboard duster is highly flammable, and if you bring that torch back in too quick, all that, it's a whoosh, and you're like in your lungs, feel it. I mean, it burns you to your plums inside, and it's so good. It's got to be good for your health, but I still don't wear a mask. But that's the key way to age it, is like the keyboard duster and a torch. and just keep going back and forth over different spots and just let it eat. And you'll see it start like little baby webs, and you're like, oh yeah, that's cool. And then you'll let it sit after you get the whole thing distressed the way you think you like it. Let it sit a couple days, and you come back and you're like, holy shit, it kept going. Oh man, this is so much cooler now, you know. And then after I get it distressed where I like the cracks, I'll go with the torch and just burn certain spots just to give it texture changes in the
Right.
paint.
Yeah.
And then after that, when you're all done, you clear it.
I clear it with lacquer again.
Okay. And
Just plain ass wood lacquer. Like I get let me tell you, I'll tell you the exact can I use. It's right here. I got it. Buy any of your. Sorry about that. I'm back now. It's called Crystal Clear Lacquer from Waco, whatever. I got it at this one's satin, as you can see, satin.
All right.
And I got this at Home Depot, and it doesn't take a lot of like, it just takes a help and like cover it. That's it. You don't have to like we're not building up 73 layers of clear with it. We're just covering it.
okay. See, I wanted to get that for me.
All right.
Now other people know.
Yeah.
So that's the hidden. That's like every painter in America is gonna be so salty with me because I left this like trade secret.
Yeah.
Here's my deal. There's no trade secrets anymore. Like if we hold this shit with us till we are dead, we're dead. It dies. This technique dies. You know what I mean? So that's one thing. I'm not a gatekeeper. I'm a poser. I like to act like I thought of a lot of cool shit, but I didn't. I just, looked at a bunch of cool magazines when I was a kid, and I just like a style.
And share it.
And then I share it. Yeah, I'm like, look, I did this. Yeah, I haven't seen that before. I'm like, I did, and it was an Easy Rider 72 edition.
Yeah, no one is reinventing the wheel. It was invented 50, 60 years ago.
Right.
And we're just gonna, I mean, it's the same thing with like designs, like how many different ways can you put a skull and a bike together on a t-shirt?
Oh my fucking Lord.
Like, or an
Right. Yeah, look.
I should have my own stuff. Like,
so I came up with one of my very first bike build. So this was 9 years ago. We called it the Copper Chopper. But I hate forward controls more than I hate my ex-wife.
Dude, I hate forward controls.
So try and figure out a way to put high mids on an Evo frame that's aftermarket, right?
Yeah.
You're like, clearly I could have welded some bungs in and made some shit that like bolted on, but then every time I have to take the foot controls off every time I want to do something. Right? So I sat there for a couple weeks, and I thought if I put a 1/4-inch plate and spaced it off the primary, and then put a peg and my foot control and everything on that, and then I attached the transmission and motor on the other side for a control, I just made mid controls, right? Yeah, I did it. It was great. You can see it on every bagger in America because I thought everybody's like, nobody's going to want that shit. And now every bagger in America, they basically modified my idea that I had at the time for that. And I'm like, cool. Neat.
Now it looks really original.
Yeah, so I show them like my version is just a plate of steel and like holes drilled wherever, and it worked perfectly. They cleaned it up, made it lighter, made it billet, they had money to do that stuff with. But I'm like, that's a neat idea. I wonder where you saw that shit happen. Because nobody ever used the primary for a mounting point before, So I had to figure out how to keep the primary sealed at the same time as extending the bolts with it was just a whole disaster of shit. And then when I was done, like, I bet it was 2-3 years later, I'm like, $900 for that. I'll be cattle kicked. Man. Like, everybody's like, that's the dumbest shit ever. That'll never take off. I'm like, you're probably right. So I listened.
Don't listen.
And guess what? I could have been sitting here on a fortune if I would have just went and did a patent on that one part.
Yeah, I mean, you never know
That's
where
where,
the fucking trends will go.
and that's where I peaked. Was at that one park.
And
One
now it's
park.
over.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's like, whatever, So like, I started like trying to do the swinging taillight because I think it's just super fun. On like my last like 3-4 bikes I built for people, the taillight just sits in the sissy bar swinging left to right as you're turning. It's just up here just fucking whipping and beating shit to death. And they're like, well, don't you hear it hitting shit? Yeah. And so what? Well, aren't you worried about what? Riding my motorcycle? No, I'm really not thinking about it. I'm just gonna ride it, and if I'm like, oh, cool.
Tail light's gone.
Yeah. So it is what it is, Hold on, give me 1 second. We got a customer coming in. I got a customer coming in. Come in, hun. Hey, come in. Give me 1 second. You can see actual business happen. Yeah, can we help you?
How the sausage is made.
A purple motorcycle with.
He got an incoming call.
Seems so.
What are we going to talk about? Well, we fill the gap.
Yeah, I kind of expected we'd have some radio here from him.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Oh.
We'll just.
Yep, there, and we're back. Sorry. That's my life.
Sick.
Never ending. It's my life. People come in all the time, and this guy he's got a okay chopper with a skull headlight, so yeah, and his starter is like, I'm like, it's tired, bud. It's dead. It's scrap heap city, so we need a starter, and then the bike's done. But yeah, that's basically. We're sorry about that. Where were we? We're talking about what now?
Tail lights swinging.
Oh, my swinging taillights. Yeah, so like I like to make it look like an old 70s like chandelier at your grandparents' house with like the wires coming through it and stuff. And it just whips around. Everybody's like, "Man, that's so cool. What'd you think of it?" I go, "Did you ever not look around a Pizza Hut? Did you like am I the only one that just like goes into a place and like,
Put that on a motorcycle.
I could probably work that into a motorcycle design of some type. You know what I mean? It's not
a Pizza Hut bike.
Yeah. Hey, Pizza Hut paid me enough. I will make them whatever they want. Trust me. Well, like, so I had a TV show my own personal TV show that we were doing, and they kept wanting me to build theme bikes for these companies.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, guys, I'm not your guy.
Yeah.
That's not me. That's not who I am. Like, I couldn't build a theme bike for all the money in America. That's just not what I am. So, needless to say, we had a difference of opinions, and I'm more chopper than I am a TV personality. Like, that's just me. The bike wins every time. So I had to part ways halfway through filming season 1 because it was causing me more headache.
Yeah.
And you think, oh, I'm building a bike on TV for these famous people. Cool, I'm going to have all the flexibility because they've seen the bikes I build, so that should speak for itself, right? The exact opposite. They think, yeah, you can build that, but now I want you to build this, and this is what I see. Yeah, what you see is dumb.
Was it like building for celebrities? Like what?
Yeah.
And they had opinions?
I was taking over for like OCC.
Okay.
And I told them, I'm like, I will do it, but I'm not building a theme bike.
Like they wanted like a Pizza Hut style bike.
Yeah. Something that embraces their company. I go, look. Like the Tuttles did this. Cool. But like they can't do anything else. Like they can build a bike that looks like a wagon wheel, but it doesn't go down the road. Wow. Is it really a motorcycle? And so that was so I will say this will be the first place I drop this tidbit of information. So OCC just started bringing like it's what OCC Originals.
Mm-hmm.
If they've had like 4 episodes there, and if you go back and look, so what happened was from the TV show that was supposed to take this over, Paul kind of got a little dick hurt because he's irrelevant, more or less, and so he paid out of his own pocket to start this OCC Originals shit, and it's just like my podcast where we're sitting around the shop around a bike talking, just bullshitting, telling old stories. And then like different stuff I put on my social media. Like, I don't know, you guys seen the one where my buddy ripped his finger off through the clutch belt?
Yeah.
Well, wouldn't you know, he has a doctor showing up the first episode that looks identical to me. Beard, shaved head, dark, identical to me. To pull stitches out of his hand because he has to tell the story of how he hurt his hand riding his motorcycle and had to get stitches or some shit. And I'm like, And then he talks about how he always helps women. Well, one thing I do is I always have a female apprentice to build their own bike. I help one female at a time build her own bike, but she's got to come to the shop. She's got to put the work in. Like Sassy, I did the thing with Sassy. She came to the shop. She did the work. I helped her build her bike, and then so now he's helping women build their own bike because he loves working with women, and like just sitting in there laughing. I'm laughing hysterically. I'm like, bro, all you've done is look at my last 2 months social media and picked stuff I put on my podcast and made it into a TV version. And you're calling this original? Cool.
So you think that's more than a coincidence?
It's one of those things. It is what it is, but I think he's a poser.
Well, so I got a notification on the recording.
No, I did too. My phone was ringing, so I had to decline it real quick. Sorry.
It's all right. But yeah, man. I mean, thank you for doing this.
Yeah, no worries.
Again, stay around after for a second so we can upload.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks again.
Yeah, man.
Hopefully it'll get you tens of hundreds of viewers.
It'll get at least one of those numbers.
Yeah, at least you hit somewhere. Like I said, like I'm ADD. I'm all over the place. I'm hard to follow, but that's just the way my mind works. And you'll find out most builders are ADD in that way. And it's just like fabricators and welders are weird.
One of
they're
my
like
good friends is a union iron worker.
Weird, right?
He's all over.
Right.
Weird, right?
Best stuff ever. Just mind-boggling. And everybody always asks me, he's like, what's it like in your head? I go, I don't know. I don't want to be in there. That's weird.
Dark screaming.
Weird.
Yeah, it's like I try and get shit out of my head, trust me. But no, it's like painters, same way. They've been huffing too much turpentine. They're like out there on their own planet. Welders, fabricators is sitting there smelling too much gas and all the shit. And then you mixing a mechanic with it. I'm just kind of a piece of shit.
You're a surrealist artist, maybe.
Right, yeah. I'm just like I do everything to make a penny.
Yeah, well, thank you again.
Yeah.
Going well.
Yeah.